Oh, welcome to the channel. Now, this is a special video. I'm recording this on my 66 anniversary of being 66 years on this planet. And how many voices going already? That's a good start. In the background, you should see. I haven't joined them all together yet. Little trade secret. You should see footage from something I took part in on Saturday. It's not often that I get onto a very early alpha of a game. Well, it's not really an alpha yet. It's still in stress testing. A lot of the things have been done, but I got into doing some stress testing of the game on Saturday. Now, the game is Ship of Heroes. You may or may not know, if you watch some of the videos I think I done last Christmas, one of the games I really enjoyed, and the only game I actually actively miss, no, I can't play it, is City of Heroes. Ship of Heroes, there is a successor to this. When City of Heroes was canned by NCSoft, incidentally, I will never ever use anything from NCSoft ever again, as they wouldn't listen to anything anybody told them. And the players had money. We had one player who was a science fiction writer, and she was willing to put forward almost $1 million to buy the IP to it, so we could carry on playing. And no, didn't want to know. So after that, a load of different teams got together and were trying to make a success. And now each one is going a slightly different way. There's City of Titans, which is the big boy. They'd done a Kickstarter and raised a hell of a lot of money. But as yet, as far as I know, no one outside of a few beta players have actually seen anything of it. I haven't really hunted around for videos of it, but what I have seen looks quite good, but they seem to be playing the cards very close to the chest. The other one is Valiant Online. Not really certain what's happened to that. I haven't checked that one out lately. And the third, and the smallest, and the last one to start up was Ship of Heroes. Now, it's a very small team doing this, of mainly part-timers. Yes, you heard right, mainly part-timers. There are some very good names from the games industry, and they were all players of City of Heroes, and they have gone together. They started the Kickstarter but canned it after a day, mainly because a lot of the people who they've spoken to said they'd rather have a donation system, so you give little and often if you can afford it, as and when you can afford it, rather than have to put money up front as far as Kickstarter, which is where I joined in. I saw this, I liked what I saw, because they have been putting out a lot of videos. I think they're about 27 so far, official videos on their progress, including when it hasn't gone quite right. They have been very open with the player base, or the would-be player base at the moment, of course, more so than the other two, which is one of the reasons I stuck with Ship of Heroes. I started by putting some money in. When I first discovered them, I put $25 in, which made me a beta tester. Gave me the rights when the game is, or before the game is launched, when they're beta testing, that I get in there at the ground floor. After a few months, I put another 25 in. I forget what this gave me. I think that gave me a guaranteed name. I could pick my own name when the time comes. Well, after the beta test, I put in some more money. I doubled my stake in it. Yes, I don't normally pay for games before they're released, but this, I have some confidence in these guys. It may all blow up. It may never happen, but they are trying their best. As I say, on Saturday, they've been doing some testing. They'd done a stress test using bots. They had 100 bots going in that didn't actually phase the game engine too much, and they used, I think, the Unreal engine. That didn't really upset it too much. This one was the real test, because they originally wanted 100 players. Well, they were oversubscribed. So instead of that, picking 100 out, they said, right, what we do is we'll split it into 3. These are all Eastern times. Like the first one went off at something like 10 a.m. Eastern time in the States, and it was 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and 4 p.m. Eastern time, which I had a choice, and I took either the first or the last, which would be, well, the last one was 9 o'clock, which is the one I got, 9 o'clock p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which is my time zone. And I'll tell you what, I was excited as a little kid coming up to Christmas. I thought that's quite appropriate at the moment, he's coming up to Christmas. I watched some live footage from was a Positive Gamer, who was on there for the first test, and it looked quite good. It looked very good. Now, we had no pause. We had pre-made outfits, but all different. Now, the idea of this test was to see if you got everybody in one area, small area, say around 80 people, whether A, the engine could handle it, and B, the server could handle it. And they wanted all from all over the world, and they got them. On our lot, there was Europeans, Americans, I think there were some Aussies, certainly some Aussies in the first test. I think there were some Aussies in this one. I say they were from near enough all over the world. And I think everybody was quite positive. One or two people with not so good at connections or not so good at PCs were suffering frame problems. And if you watch this, you'll see I went from about mid-30s, I think it was, or low 30s, to around 60 when I first logged in. I'm going to cut. Our test lasted an hour. We were lucky, actually, we were the last ones up, and I think the others were last about 45 minutes, but we got an hour, and we could talk to the devs and the head honcho of it, consultant. And those guys are very, very open. And how they're doing it is, I think they're all rather part-time. I'm not certain about consultant, whether he's now doing it full-time or not, but most of them are doing it part-time. If they want a special skill, they will buy it in or try and twist somebody's arm who is good at it and they know in the industry. They're all industry hacks. They've all been around for donkey's years. And they have, as you can see on this, got quite a way. We could only play in a very small area. There is more of it ready, but they want to make certain we couldn't wander off too far, because that's a special stress. Hence the torches we had. They want the torches up to put a bit more stress on the engine. And they was just saying if it could run 80 to 100 people. I don't think there was 80 on our test, so I think the middle one there were about 80 to 84 people. And it stood up to it. So things are looking good, and they're hoping to get the beta out end of next year, or during next year, and I think it will be the end. But I've seen videos of quite a few of the par sets, of some of the par sets which I put up, and I know a lot of those ones, they're not just them playing, they do invite different people in to have a go with them. So that's what I was up to Saturday. I consider that an early birthday present. What doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing farmings videos. I'll still do farming videos, but more of my time when this comes out will be taken up with this game, because City of Heroes had something special. Until he made it free to play, we had a very loyal band of good friends. I know I played on Defiant server, which was the smallest of the two English-speaking European servers, until they merged all the servers and you could go wherever you wanted, but I was a Defiant man through and through. There wasn't many of us. Sometimes we were pushed to get enough to do a Hamilton raid on the server, which you needed, I think that's 48 or 54. And we were sort of struggled sometimes to get enough of that particular raid, but we normally managed. But we knew each other. And we want a great PvP server over. Union was the one for PvP if you wanted it. We've done some, but not a lot. But we've done other things. We've done things that no one else tried, like we tried to take drop ships down, which was unheard of until we managed it finally. It took us some time, though. It took several rickety raids before we got that done. But we were determined. Anyway, that's about it for this. I'm going to leave you with just it's never 4 or 5 minutes footage. It's only going to be about a 15-minute video. And I'd like to thank everybody for their support over the last year. It's been a funny year. Boy, have it been a funny year. Hasn't ended up too well, but I'm looking forward to next year. I'm also looking forward to reacting and interacting with you good folks again. I don't do live because I just don't fancy trying to keep going live, and I show all the mistakes anyway, but it's just if I get a bit flustered going live, I don't think it'd make too good a food. Well, think about it, will probably make very good food for you lot. Anyway, with that, it's if you like what you say, please consider leaving a like. If you're not subscribed, go and subscribe. I'm on my break until the 2nd of January when I start up again properly. There will be some museum videos going up over this break period because I want to try and get that one tied up fairly quickly, that series. And I don't just want to drop it this time. I've done it with too many. Alright. Yes, if you like what you see, please consider leaving a like. If you're not a subscriber, well, you know the rest. I would subscribe. You know you really want to and all that. Any comments, questions, queries, suggestions, feel free to post them in the comment section. I read everyone. I try and reply or react to everyone. And I've just noticed I'm almost at 400 subscribers. That may not be many for Tag a Win, but for me, it's a goodly number. I don't go out hunting for subs. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. But it's just pleasant to see that number. So with that, it's Mervyn saying cheerio for now. Cheerio. Have a very good holiday, and I hope you will have a prosperous and good new year. You all deserve it. We all deserve it. And with that, ciao for now.